Hi guys, PrinceofMacedon here, and I'm doing a Realm Total War multiplayer battle. And this is the chat screen. I joined this guy's game. His name was Ariel, but I have him listed as Pffft, so I'm just going to call him PF for short. Anyway, here are the rules he set. He set it up so I would have to use Rome at 10k, and he would get to use the Gauls at 15k. And with those kind of rules, I figured that my opponent was a YouTube viewer of mine. That's why he set this game up, because I made a battle like this a few weeks ago. Anyways, he made me use the Romans at 10k, and I was really hoping I would get to use Gaul, but oh well. Here's my army, and I'm stuck at 10k, so I have 3 squadrons of Praetorian Cav, 4 units of urban cohorts, and 3 units of Roman archers. So it's balanced, so if I have to, I can be really mobile, and if not, I can play defensively as well. So that's a nice setup for me for this fort battle, and I can leave the safety of my fort walls if I have to. Alright, let's go look at my opponent's Gallic army, and he has 15k to work with. He has 1 squadron of Barbarian Warlord, then he has a Druid unit right there, then he has 4 units of Chosen Swordsmen, then he has 4 units of the Naked Fanatics, then he has 4 units of these Swordsmen. There they are, and 2 units of warbands, and 2 units of the skirmisher warbands. And if you look at the unit cards, you can see the upgrades that we're using. Alright, let's start the battle replay up. There you go. This is battle 1623 for me. And we're going to look at the deployments. And that's me on the red ones, I'm the Romans, and I'm stuck in this fort. I deployed my urban cohorts towards the front of the wall, and I deployed my archers on both wings of my urban cohorts. And there's my, in the back line are my 3 squadrons of Praetorian Cav. Let's go look at my opponent's deployment. He's using his skirmisher warbands to move the battering rams. Then he has his Barbarian Warlord and his warbands coming in behind his skirmisher warbands. And right there's a unit of Druids. He's going to leave the rest of his melee army back there. And he put his Chosen Swordsmen in the very back. The Chosen Swordsmen are his best troops. Alright, so here I accidentally left my Pila on. I could have sworn I turned them off. Anyway, I'm moving my Roman archers forward here, and we're going to use our flaming arrows on these dudes. And I was hoping to burn those things down, but oh well. Alright, so my opponent's coming right to the wall here, and my dudes are hitting his skirmisher warbands. And yeah, I kind of wasted my Pila on those on this first wave here. I meant to use them on his bigger wave of melee troops. Alright, but here are his dudes. They are knocking on my walls there. And here's a close-up of my opponent's melee troops in the very back. But he's going to send in this first wave first to, I guess, soak up my dudes. But look at the amount of space between his first wave and his second wave. So I decided at this point to take out my Praetorian Cav. And if he was going to play like that, then I'm going to have some fun with his first wave. And all I need are 2 squadrons of Praetorian Cav to accomplish my objective for this phase. So he sees my Praetorians coming, and he's going to try to ward them off by redeploying his warbands. So you can see some movement from his warbands, well, at least in the very back. So I'm going to launch this strike into his skirmisher warbands. I'm going to charge in and then charge out. At this point, my opponent breaks down the gates with his battering ram, and while I'm playing around with my Praetorian Cav, I'm also going to be moving up some of my urban cohorts, and I'm going to have these guys engage the enemy. And I also sent my Roman archers out, but I didn't really mean to, but oh well. Here's my dudes. Looks like my Roman archers are first into combat against these warbands, and my urban cohorts are following up close behind. And this has turned into a hammer and anvil strike since my urban cohorts came out. And because of the amount of space he left between his first and second wave, then I'll be able to destroy his army piecemeal. I think he should have left them a little bit closer together, but not so close that his retreating guys demoralize the rest of his army. Anyway, at this guy's route, that's his first wave, I'm going to chase him down my horses and try to destroy them before they stop routing. And if you look at this close-up, you can see his warbands. They are going back to attack my cav. And I'm going to break out of that engagement with my horses and I'm going to send off my horses to chase after his horses. And I'm not going to attack those warbands with just my my cav, because that's a waste of horses. But you can see his warbands finally break anyways. And with that first wave gone, I decided to attack my opponent. So I'm going to take my troops out, and I'm going to engage my opponent in a set piece battle. I don't really need those walls anymore. So I'm taking out my Roman archers. And for some reason my Roman archers got out first. But that'll make my entrance for the urban courts more grand. Or is that an entrance, or is that more of an exit? Whatever. Alright, so here's my guys. They are going to redeploy for a pitch battle here. And at this point my opponent's going to rush his troops forward here. He wants to try to take advantage of my guys as they're setting up for this battle. And you can see right there I made a little micro mistake. I forgot to run my Roman archers backwards. Instead they're just kind of walking back. But I wasn't too concerned about my archers at this point. Alright, so check it out. My opponent's going to rush in because he sees this as an opportunity for his troops to strike, while my guys are still getting into position. And if you look here, you can see he left his chosen swordsman in the very back. And I'm not sure if he's the same guy on my YouTube page who said he would leave his chosen swordsman out as the last wave, letting the weaker troops to weaken my legionnaires. But as I told that guy, whoever that was, I told him that my plan would change if my opponent did different moves. So I'm not rigid, and a lot of people seem to think that when they watch my battles that I would do the exact same thing against them if they did another move, but that's not the way battle works. It's more of a fluid thing, so you have to go with the flow. You can't just be rigid and do the same thing over and over again. Alright, so you can see two of my flags are routing, and those are just my Roman archers. There's my general crashing into the backs of his dudes, and because my opponent's using his chosen swordsman to protect his rear for now, I'm using all three of my Praetorian cav to launch hammer and ammo strikes, but I'm using misdirection in order to keep his chosen swordsman guessing where my hammer and ammo strikes will land. So you can see all this movement I'm making, and that's going to cause his chosen swordsman to cluster together like this, and that in turn will make it easier for hammer and ammo strikes. So yeah, always use movement, because movement is what moves your opponent. Alright, look at this chosen swordsman. They are now engaged with my urban cohorts. So I think a big part of his plan was attrition. Basically, my opponent wanted to grind down my Roman infantry with his weaker troops before sending in his elite chosen swordsman. Anyways, on my right flank, you can see a lot of his dudes are routing, and that's as a result of my hammer and ammo strikes. Alright, now I'm engaged with his general right here. I isolated them and I surrounded them. So there we go. And by the way, I recorded this battle live. Right now I'm using the replay footage, but now I'm going to switch to my live footage here. And the reason why I recorded this live is because I've played this guy before, and he terminated the game after we played. But yeah, in our first game, he tried to use the Numidians against my Seleucids, and I won the battle, but he terminated the game. Anyways, there he terminates the game, you can see. But he did say good game beforehand. Anyways, that was a clear victory for me, and I'm going to, I guess, show you the replay thing, how I name my replays. I'm going to name it Battle 1623, but because of the nature of this battle, I had trouble naming it, so I'm going to name it 1623, 10k versus 15, Siege, and the W is for win. And there's a look at the results. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Good game to my opponent.